Welcome to the Half-Life 2 Episode 2 Anniversary Edition. Yeah, let's go.
I'll stay with the car.
In the Source engine, we use a realistic radiosity lighting simulator to generate lighting detail for the geometry in our game worlds. In previous games using the Source engine, shadows were simulated as if cast by totally opaque objects. In Episode 2, we needed to render large wooded areas, which required us to modify our shadowing technology to account for the sparse, semi-transparent nature of foliage. With these upgrades to our radiosity lighting simulator, we are now able to realistically illuminate the trees themselves, as well as generate soft, semi-transparent shadows on the environment around them.
Thanks.
Over there! I see an antenna. Huh, I think that's White Forest. Well, we're close enough to make it the rest of the way on foot if we have to.
I can. Okay.
Whoa.
Our main goal with this scene was to create a cinematic battle of the Titans, dog versus a stray. While we were excited with the earlier implementations, it became obvious that players were uncertain of their role in the scene. Originally, the confrontation built slowly, with dogs squaring off against the strider. But having such a slow beginning created problems. It looked great in the trailer, but didn't play well in the game. Instead of a slow build, we decided to send Dog straight into action. He makes a grand entrance, jumps on the strider, and the fight is on. A quick start helps to grab the player's attention instead of giving them too much time to worry about what they ought to do.
Just me.
Oh no! Dog.
The Strider has big parts of him that rip off. He spews goo everywhere. He's a great testbed for new modeling technology and our new particle system. We custom built him just for this sequence.
You're all right.
With our episodic process, a lot of new technology comes online throughout development. Since any new technology takes a year or more to really work out all the bugs, we like to look for isolated areas, like this one, where we can test out new things without risking all the things we know already work.
Better now.
We did this with HDR and our Lost Coast demos. Once we're sure we didn't break anything, we can move the features back into general use. Since the Strider worked out really well here, he'll be the new Strider as we move forward, and we'll be applying what we've learned to any new monsters in Episode 3.
Racing Dog to the base was not a preconceived plan. It was born out of testing the level over and over, and repeatedly trying to keep up with Dog as he ran to the base. This was sufficiently fun for us that we began to figure out ways to encourage players to do it too.
Looks like we need your help again. Would you mind? Way to go, boy! Okay, Dog. Race you to the base. Step on it, Gordon.
Wow, that was fast.
All right. This is it. Well, you won this time, dog. So, a really cool experience was that while I was at Valve, I was talking to one of the animators in the hallway, and we were just carrying on a conversation. I was getting to know what he did, and I just happened to be looking over my shoulder and noticed that people kept popping their heads out of their offices. And one of the other guys noted to me that these people, ooh, bless them, they have to sit around and listen to my voice all day long. So for that voice to be kind of just chatting in the hallway was a little weird. And I guess I kind of liken that. I can understand it because the very first time I saw my voice on Alex Vance's face, it was
what? So bizarre.
Alex! Dr. Freeman, you made it.
hey, boy, are we glad to be here.
Yeah, we heard you ran into a little trouble out there. Combine's been trying to hit in the front door. I think they learned their lesson. You mind if we keep dog patrolling out here?
Not at all. You heard him, dog. I'm gonna go see Dad. I'll catch up to you later. You take care of yourself.
I don't think Eli knows you're here yet. He's in Silo 1 access unit, right through here.
Shall we?
I don't feel anything anymore. You talking to me?
What now?
Oh no, what's that?
Well, now what?
Pretty sure this
All right, back to work, everyone. It's just another false alarm in the secondary silo.
Let's take a walk.
Same old Dr. Magnuson.
So, you ever used an AR-2 before?
AR-2? No. Now, an AR-3, sure. Plenty of times.
There is no such thing as an AR-3.
Well, see, in the city, the place was lousy with AR-3s.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it was. So do you know what the alternative fire method does on the AR-2? It kills hunters. How did you city folk kill hunters?
We sure as hell didn't use guns. We would just wrestle hunters to the ground with our bare hands. I used to kill 10, 20 a day, just using my fists.
Oh, so when you're out in the field, you're gonna be punching hunters?
In the field? I'm not going out in the field. I'm a radio operator.
That's it. Leave. You don't need to be here, and I'm not gonna continue the lesson until you leave.
I'm staying right here.
I am serious. Leave.
Very interesting
Not going to
dialogue.
continue until you leave.
Again.
Hey, Gordon, man, you made it.
Dad,
Alex.
I was so afraid I wouldn't see you.
In sketching out the scenes for the episode, we noticed a lack of interpersonal conflict between the characters who had survived from Half-Life 2. Alex, Eli, and Dr. Kleiner have a lot of affection for one another, as you will see in many of the
Make a
scenes.
pretty good team.
And while we all value the benefit of strong, positive relationships, we were happy to have Dr. Magnuson around to get irritated by all the hugging.
We all have to do our part.
Dad!
Can you blame an old man for wanting grandkids?
Sorry.
What happened?
It means a lot to me to have multi-ethnic heroine. When I was growing up, that didn't happen a whole lot. I mean, maybe Storm from X-Men, I don't know. But it wasn't commonplace. So to have someone that's my type be in that kind of position is really, really amazing. I mean, I think it's a popular trend now, but that wasn't always the case.
You'd think they were still competing for grant money.
Storm.
Some things never change. Do we have any idea how long until the super portal's active?
We don't know for certain. We're keeping an eye on it.
And what about the Combine? Will we be able to launch before they attack?
It's gonna be close. All it would take is one Strider to destroy our rocket. But we're ready for him.
I'm sorry we couldn't get here any sooner, Dad.
Don't worry, sweetheart. We're gonna make it. I'm just so glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
Submitting it for the Kleiner certificate of approval. With the result of staffing and supply deficiencies. And cranial conjugal parasite away from my nose cone!
Now listen here, Magnuson. There's no call for hurtful comments. Good grief. Eli, why didn't you tell me they'd arrived?
Don't worry, Izzy. They just got here.
My dear, what a relief. Not to mention a delight to see you here at last. And Gordon, I see you in the HEV suit have taken excellent care of each other.
They're inseparable.
The data, people, the data! Kleiner, are you going to sync up the satellite, or should I postpone the launch to make time for a family reunion?
All right, all right. I was just saying hello to Alex and Gordon.
Due to the number of characters involved in this scene and the cramped spaces, we found that the actors were constantly pushing the player around in order to get to their marks. We developed some tech that allowed the actors to gauge the position of the player and the other actors and choose among a selection of marks. This not only solved the congestion problem, but made scenes feel more dynamic.
It's right here, Dr. Kleiner. We've got a ton of data. The strange thing is,
If you listened closely to the Vortigons in the Antlion tunnels, you may have heard one of them using a complaint very similar to Dr. Magnuson's here. Their affinity to Dr. Magnuson has caused some of his mannerisms to spread among them by way of their low-grade telepathy.
Yes, of course.
Another alarm?
Oh, what next?
Dr. Magnuson was a result of a decision to bring forward another signature character from the original Half-Life, along the lines of Dr. Kleiner and Barney. As we developed the character, we kept referring back to this line from Half-Life to keep us on track.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
Though we liked the character who came into focus, we found that this voice was sounding too much like a caricature for our increasingly grim and realistic world. We like to hire actors with the natural voices that we want for our characters, as opposed to hiring actors to create voice characterizations. In John Aylward, we found someone who could deliver the brusque arrogance of the original lines, and also take the character forward into some of the richer and subtler opportunities we foresee for him.
Once you're down there, Uriah let you into the secondary silo. But what are you waiting for, Freeman? A hug? The situation.
Rather than just make up something that would fit our fantasies of a rocket, we designed Dr. Magnuson's rocket around blueprints from the Titan family of missiles. Grounding the details of our world in reality, making them as precise as possible, makes the invented, fantastic elements seem that much more believable. Rather than just make up something that would fit our fantasies of a rocket, we designed Dr. Magnuson's rocket around blueprints from the Titan family of missiles. Grounding the details of our world in reality, making them as precise as possible, makes the invented, fantastic elements seem that much more believable.
Lamar is in there.
Attention personnel, this is Dr. Magnuson. Since the secondary silo staff seem incapable of solving their little crow problem, you will be happy to hear we have put the popular Dr. Freeman on the job. We all look forward to his remedy, and I look forward to hearing the staff's excuses for why they couldn't handle it themselves. Thank you for your patience.
We intended White Forest to offer a change of pace from the constant action that preceded it. A few moments to reunite with old friends and get to know Dr. Magnuson. A breather before the big battle ahead. However, our first version of the sequence was a logjam of long, talky scenes. Gordon and Alex stood around listening to Kleiner and Magnuson argue at the top of the silo, then rode an elevator to the bottom of the shaft while Dr. Kleiner lectured them about rockets and satellites. They wandered into a control room to watch Dr. Mossman's transmission, and then hatched a plan to get her back. We knew we were in trouble when even the authors of the scene were bored, and no one had the patience for the revelations that followed. We divided the sequence into a number of smaller pieces that could be interleaved with solitary exploration and some combat. This required rebuilding the path and moving the control room upstairs, where the transmission scene became a reward for surviving the secondary silo. As a result of these changes, the White Forest experience is more varied, The narrative comes in digestible portions, and the players are able to play at their own speed, rather than being led by the nose the entire time.
This steam jet is an example of something we call a mechanic refresher. It's meant to refresh the player's memory on how to perform a certain task they may not have used in a while. In this case, we remind the player about using valves to turn off steam in a relaxed environment. In the map just ahead, this trick will be fresh in their mind, and they'll be far more likely to realize they can use steam jets tactically when they encounter them in a combat situation.
Well met. Freeman, the Magnuson has instructed me to admit you into the secondary silo. The secondary silo can be reached through here.
In Half-Life 2, when we first decided to make Vortigaunt ally characters, we played around with having a prominent Vortigaunt companion. Because of their bowed posture and semi-servile manner, this individual was dubbed Heap, after Dickens' character Uriah Heep. In Episode 2, we named the prominent Vort at White Forest Base Uriah. In Episode 3, we'll find out Dickens' unused middle name for Uriah Heep.
Originally created as a minor background character, the Vortigaunt lab assistant, known internally as Labby, was so popular with playtesters that he evolved into a fully developed character.
Wow. Wow. Imagine that.
Attention personnel, this is Dr. Magnuson. Since the secondary silo staff seem incapable of solving their little crow problem, you will be happy to hear we have put the popular Dr. Freeman on the job. We all look forward to his remedy, and I look forward to hearing the staff's excuses for why they couldn't handle it themselves. Thank you for your patience.
Well met. Freeman.
Originally created as a minor background character, the
For God's sake, Freeman, what is taking you so long? Oh, I cannot concentrate with all of this racket. These feathered fiends are the most persistent I have ever... Wait, what is this?
Hey, an extra pair of hands. Right through here. Magnuson must have sent
Oh dear, this is a breach. A breach. Attention, attention personnel, this is Dr. Magnuson. We are experiencing a breach of internal base defenses. Please bear with us while we pinpoint the location of the breach.
Fast, they're too fast.
One of the main goals for hunters was to make the player feel he was vulnerable wherever he might hide. This arena in the secondary silo became our testbed for improving the hunter's close combat behavior. A classic combat space, featuring multiple exits and many possible paths, we tuned it for a strong cat-and-mouse gameplay experience. While players have many options for escape, the map is designed so that players will never completely lose them, but always be able to pursue and flush the player out of hiding.
I don't know what silo means. Next step, second step.
I'll stay here. 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 I'll stay here.
Level designers and artists now have the ability to create unique effects as needed, gameplay, or to add dynamic life to a level. In this case, this simple water leak wouldn't have been possible before without involving a programmer to create a new class of effect. Thanks to the new particle system, unique effects like this are easily created as needed, without any programming. This leak adds a visual point of interest to the area and also blocks direct line of sight into the nearby corridor, without blocking the space itself. These effects can be placed and controlled within levels, attached to animation events of characters, or called by code. Allowing particles to be attached to objects in the world, emitted from a model's hitboxes, and locked to bone positions allows them to serve a wide variety of functions, such as the new Vortigaunt beams or the burning effect of the zombie. We hope this feature will allow level and mod authors to create a wide variety of effects quickly and easily to suit their purposes.
Glowing under the huh?
Freeman, I repeat, there has been a breach of the secondary silo by way of the overhead lock doors. I will trust you to seal the silo doors.
Ah, silo like rocket launcher.
Secondary silo by way of the overhead launch doors. I will trust you to seal the silo doors. I will trust you to seal the silo doors. to you to seal the launch doors. Freeman, I repeat, there has been a breach of the secondary silo by way of the overhead launch doors. I will trust you to seal the silo doors.
Some? What should it be? I thought it was Gmail.
This is Dr. Magnuson, and I am pleased to announce the secondary silo has been sealed. Well, back to work.
Gordon,
Take this med kit.
thank goodness you're okay. Glad that's over. We couldn't get in till you sealed off the silo when the blast doors opened up.
Regrettably true.
I better let my dad know you're all right.
Alright, that's all for now. Let's see what will happen next
Dad?
time.
Yes, Alex. Is everything okay? Is Gordon all right?